Hi, my friend. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. I am Trey. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Today, we are doing something super simple. If you are looking for a delicious dessert to take to your family gatherings this holiday season, you are going to want to watch this. I am making something that my family loves, that even my grandma asked me to make and bring. So if that's something that you're interested in, come on, let's get started. I'm going to show you what we're making. So it is Christmas morning and I'm so happy and so thankful, just full of gratitude this holiday season. But one request from my husband and my grandma is my red velvet cake. They absolutely love it. So today I'm going to share it with you, okay? So we're going to start off with 1.5 cups of vegetable oil. I'm just using mine from Publix right here. I'm just going to start pouring everything and putting it together, and I will put all the ingredients down below in the description box, and then I will add them on the video. So make sure you keep watching and let me know if you have ever had red velvet cake and if you ever made it. So I know that 2020 got a really bad rep, but one thing that I loved about 2020 is being home and just being with my family. And I learned how to bake. Like, I absolutely love being able to slow down. My husband was not traveling as much. I wasn't babysitting anymore. And it was just a pleasant time for me and my family to sit together and, slow our minds down and just learn how. We did so many crafts. We crafted so much. We did in-house museums. Like, the kids would draw pictures and then I would go live on Instagram and let them show their family and friends and everything. It was just absolutely amazing. But baking was something that I always wanted to do, but I feel like I was always rushing. So I was super excited to learn how to bake. I learned how to bake chocolate chip cookies. And that seems so simple. But I think of baking like it's a science. It's really a science to baking. You can't just say, "Ooh, I want to put this and this together and bake a cake." No. It's not like cooking. Like cooking, I wait till the ancestors tell me to stop. But baking, it's a science. You literally have to follow the instructions. I would say, "Oh, I don't need that much sugar," or "I want more sugar." Then I wonder why my cake is flat or my cookies don't look right. Because you got to follow the directions, girl. So one of my really good friends shared this recipe with me, and she knows I love red velvet cake. But I was always intimidated by red velvet cake. And so she walked me through it, and it was so amazing. And now my family asks for it all the time. And y'all know it's good when your grandma asked. So I really hope that these instructions are super helpful. They're super easy to follow. You just mix the dry ingredients, then the wet ingredients, and adding this espresso is key. It keeps your cake very moist. I know some people hate that word, but it keeps your cake tasting very delicious and not so dry. So I'll say the opposite of that word is dry. And you just add your ingredients. I add a little bit of the dry ingredients at a time. Then I start to mix. Then I add a little bit more of the dry ingredients. And y'all, when I'm recording stuff, I always forget something. I forgot to add the red food coloring to it. So I added a little bit later. But typically, you are supposed to add it to the wet ingredient first. 1 tablespoon or more. I usually use a little bit more because I want it really, really red. But it all depends on your preferences. So in the future, make sure you add the red food coloring to your wet ingredients. It didn't mess up the cake at all, but I was like, why is my cake black? I forgot the red food coloring. So it is so delicious. It smells good. My kids love helping with this. And I'll show you here. You use, what is this called? Parchment paper. And then you cut it around. And I usually trace my 9-inch pan. Once I trace my 9-inch pan, I use butter to go around my pan. Then I add a little bit of flour to the pan, and that's what's going to help that cake come out really easily, okay? Then you're going to put your parchment paper. It should fit perfectly because you traced it, right? It's going to fit perfectly, and then the magic happens. You pour that red velvet cake in there, and y'all, you do it for the second pan too, because you're putting 2 9-inch pans in the oven, okay? On 350, 20 to 25 minutes. Then while we're waiting on that, we're going to get our frosting started. So that's 2 cream cheeses. Then we're going to add in some powdered sugar, a dash of salt, and so powdered sugar, dash of salt, the cream cheese, and 2 tablespoons of the vanilla extract just to give it a little bit of flavor. You can add more powdered sugar or less powdered sugar. It's all depending on your preferences. But the compliment that I get all the time is that it tastes very rich, and I love that. So I definitely stick with the amount that I have. If you taste it and you're like, ooh, this is too rich, then you can take it away. Here's another reason why I like to wash as I go. This is just I'm just throwing that in there because this is also a homemaking, cleaning motivation video. But if you clean up as you go, you have those to use again. You used them when you were mixing your wet and dry ingredients. Now you need them again to make your frosting. So again, add that 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And y'all, it is so delicious. One thing that I was missing is walnuts. I didn't have any, and I knew I was taking it to my grandma's house. And that's my timer to check on it. Thank you, Alexa. Cheese, powdered sugar, vanilla, salt mixture that we put on top of the cake. While we're waiting to check on the cake, I'm going to show you a couple other things that we have. So the dressing is done. The mac and cheese is done. I'm going to put the ham in. We baked these cookies last night. These are like the darker ones are for my husband because he likes them a little more crispy. Like crispy edges, but still soft in the middle. These are like more my favorite. They're a little softer. I don't really like crispy edges. Still, I don't know. It's hard to explain. So maybe I keep these in for 10 minutes. I keep these in for 8 minutes. So if that explains anything. So now we're going to check. It's not done because when it is, you'll see it kind of starts to leave. You'll notice that little red will kind of start leaving the, what do you call this? It'll start coming off, if that makes sense. So, and you can tell it's still a little bumpy at the end. So we're going to close that and do maybe like 5 more minutes. Okay, so you see how that top is risen now? So what we're going to do is just take a little butter knife and stick it through to see if it is ready. So grabbing our butter knife, and like I was saying, it's just when you see the cake start to leave the center of the pan. Okay, I'm going to just test it right here in the middle to make sure it comes out. That's not bad. I'm gonna do like 2 more minutes because you don't want it to be too juicy, but I'm gonna do 2 minutes. But you can see how it's coming off from the edges. That's what I meant, that part right there. So I ended up leaving it in a total of like 27, 28 minutes. Then I take it out and you can see how moist it is. Y'all, it is just excellent. I'm putting it in my carrying pan. Then I'm going to start to frosting it. And frosting it. My other one did not come out as good because I did not have any more parchment paper, so I used wax paper. So you'll see that second layer, but you know what? That's what frosting is for. I covered it up and it looked just fine, but it came off a little more rugged because all I had, you see how you can see right there at the top, that top layer, it kind of just came off. Not as good, but it was tasty. I was like, ooh, I get a little bit extra taste. But I'm going to get this all frosted up, and I really hope that this video was so helpful. I would love to know any of your favorite desserts, and give me a shout and let me know what else would you like to see me make. I am really trying to step up my baking game. Like, I feel like I can cook a lot, but I really want to step up my baking. So if you have any suggestions, leave those down below. What are you baking for the holiday season? But y'all, I really enjoy being here with you. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe, all the things. I would love to have you a part of the family. I will see you in the next video. Happy New Year. And until next time, you got this, mama. Have a great day.